Hey guys, what is going on? It is Ando, and we got another Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle Earth video. And today we got a ton of news, both officially and unofficially. And so to cover that, we're actually going to go into Discord really quick, and then we'll kind of talk about ways to prepare and some of the things that I think are really, really exciting. So we're going to first kind of, summarize up all the information, and then we'll move on from there, again, talking about how to prep. So the first thing they talk about is the gold. They've kind of heard our pleas here. The first thing is that they have a kind of a free to play solution in place right now with the bonus chests. It's pretty nice actually. You get some gear, you get shards, and you get also some gold as well. But the next thing that they came out with, it was a new store chest. And this one's a little bit less free to play friendly, right? Not too many people that aren't, scoring high in arena can afford 150 gems. And the idea is too that this is also going to be a gamble. We haven't seen the probability for it yet, but I'm going to guess that most of it centers around 10 to 15 or maybe 20,000 with a really crazy off chance that maybe you can get 100,000, but maybe I'm wrong. But that's just how things have worked in the past. So they are kind of talking about how this is probably going to be kind of a step-by-step process. In a lot of these games, especially with economy, the thing that you don't want to do is kind of overstep it and then have to bring it back. You'd rather just kind of release it in increments, see how that feels, let this play out for a week or two. Again, see how it feels. If we still feel like there's a crunch, that's when they maybe increase it or they come up with a new event or something like that. And that'll help kind of guide them again on the economy essentially. We got some character shard location changes, and we'll kind of go into this later on, but the big thing with this is that actually a lot of these characters are elves. And so again, we'll tie that into some of the other things that we got to talk about later, but pretty exciting. And for the most part, they actually get easier. So again, another thing that I think kind of probably supports what we'll talk about later on, but just know that there's a couple of new characters or a couple of characters that have changed positions, wherever they're located at. One thing that I'm actually really excited about is the daily login calendar. They've extended this by 10 days, because for those of us that joined on the global launch, we didn't get to get all the, calendar rewards. And typically how calendar rewards goes, they try to incentivize you more at the end of the month after playing for a bit, to kind of keep bringing you back. So by not getting those, those last 10 days, we were kind of missing out on some of the better rewards. So definitely glad that they've extended that a little bit. They've changed some of the stores. Some of the stuff is going to be background stuff or mechanic stuff, so we won't go too deep into it. But yes, they've changed some stuff with stores. Looks pretty good to me. And then they're calling, if you played Galaxy of Heroes, they're calling their Marquise Adventures. We knew that Arwen's coming. They kind of showed it on a Friday. They gave the kit reveal. And the big thing to note here is that basically going through tiers 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're going to get 100 character shards. This is important again because we're kind of building up elves. And again, we'll kind of go through this a little bit later on, but elves are going to be pretty important right now. They've added some new chapters to the Light and Shadows. Again, some balance and some tweaks within the campaign. This is what I was talking about earlier, the bonus chest changes. Basically, we're going to get, I think when I opened mine today, I got a character shard, I got a dark crystal, and I got some gold. So, it looks pretty solid with the new kind of rework in this chest. And then they go through a ton of different balance changes, bug fixes, all this other stuff. So good stuff to read up on, but really for the purposes of this video is not really what I'm focused on. So this is where we get to the exciting part. And I will say before we get too much into this, that this comes from a data mine, right? Every time that the game is updated, this is very common, at least in mobile games. Every time the game is updated, they put in files, and these files are usually meant to kind of be in the background and saved, and they'll bring them forward kind of when they need them. So what data miners do, they'll go and look for these files, and they'll usually come up with hints. Now, again, nothing's final in data mines. Sometimes some gaming companies throw them in just to throw people off. But for the most part, I think, again, connecting the dots here a little bit, this makes sense. So I'll read it out loud. The Lord of Rivendell is coming to Middle-earth. Elrond is featured in a legendary adventure, which we knew. Read on to learn more. Through the ages, Elrond has been at the forefront of Middle-earth's battle against the Shadow. As both a fighter and a healer, Elrond has an impact on both sides of a battlefield. He hears the call for heroes and will come to your aid. A legendary adventure requires players to collect other heroes to unlock the legendary hero. Elrond, as a leader of elves, requires at least 5 of the elven heroes, right? And then so it goes through each one of them. Apologies before I start saying these if I say them wrong, but looks like we got Arwen, Elladan, Elrohir, Leliel, Naramiri, and Lomion. I don't know, Lomion. And so basically what it's trying to say is you get those 5 characters to 5 stars, you get to unlock Elrond. Obviously, if you get them to 6, all to 6, you'll get a 6-star one. And if you get them all to 7, you'll get a 7-star Elrond. So what does that bring us to, guys? Well, this is kind of how I'm going to prepare for it. Again, a lot of these characters were brought into this game, and they were, they changed their shard locations, so they made them typically easier. So if you want, how you can do this easy, just go into Elf, select each one of them, and then you just put a heart here to kind of favorite them. If it ever shows up, there we go. And then that's how you can kind of quickly do your farms per day, right? And you can see I already done mine. I will probably be putting the 25 crystal refreshes on them, just because I know how this goes. And that's kind of what I want to talk about right now. Guys, a lot of times in these games, it's hard to get a character the first time around, and that's okay, but we need to build the character shards for at least the second time unlock. You don't want to be that guy that puts this off because something else is going to come up and you're going to be like, oh man, like, well, I got to go for that thing. Just stick with something. You're going to want to, accomplish it in good time. Typically with, again, the other Capital Games game that I play, legendary events came back every 3 months. So from the release date of that event, 3 months from then, roughly, give or take, is going to be the next event. Again, you don't want to be the guy that misses on the second time. You could miss it on the first time. It's understandable. Sometimes they'll put some of them to be easy, and then they'll kind of incentivize you to, hey, spend a little bit of money and you'll get this character, right? For a legendary event, though, you just don't want to be on that second time and still not have them. So yeah, that's kind of the big news there. The other big news that we saw in data mines, and I didn't get a screenshot of this, but basically they've kind of data mined that we're gonna get the Fellowship version of Gimli and Legolas. Pretty cool. I'm excited mostly for that. Obviously, Legolas is probably my favorite character inside of Lord of the Rings, so I'm pretty excited for that. It looks like they're going to be marquees or the adventures. So I'm guessing that like the marquee or the the venture versions of the Fellowship of the Ring, probably going to be Strider and Legolas, Gimli. Maybe we'll unlock Gandalf the Grey or something like that. So let me know what you guys think. How are you guys preparing? What did you guys think about the huge update that we got? Let me know it all, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.